Picture this. It's your birthday. Right now. This very moment. How do you feel? Excited? Anxious? Maybe nothing at all. Here's something that'll blow your mind. The way you answer that question reveals more about your psychology than you probably realize. And I'm not talking about whether you're an introvert or extrovert. I'm talking about something way deeper. Something that shapes how you see yourself, how you handle disappointment, and even how you measure your own worth. Today, we're diving into the fascinating psychology of people who treat their birthday like it's just Tuesday. No fanfare, no celebration, no big deal. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll understand why your birthday truly is a mirror reflecting your deepest self, or someone you love, in a completely different light. The invisible wound. You need to meet Sarah, because her story might explain why you feel that knot in your stomach every time your birthday rolls around. Sarah is 32 years old. Successful career, great friends, loving family. But every year when her birthday rolls around, she goes silent, turns off her phone, pretends the day doesn't exist. Why? Because when Sarah was 8 years old, her mom promised her a birthday party. Sarah invited 15 kids from school. She helped bake cupcakes, picked out decorations, and waited by the door with excitement bursting from every cell in her body. Her mom tried to make it special anyway. Games, cake, presents, but Sarah saw the look in her mother's eyes. That mixture of pity and heartbreak. And something shifted inside her that day. The psychological term for what happened to Sarah is called learned helplessness, a concept discovered by psychologist Martin Seligman in the 1960s. When we experience repeated disappointment that we can't control, our brain literally rewires itself. It stops expecting good things because expecting hurts too much. But here's what makes this really interesting. Sarah didn't just stop celebrating her birthday. She stopped expecting celebration in all areas of her life. Promotions at work? She downplayed them. Achievements? She brushed them off. Because somewhere deep in her psychology, that 8-year-old girl was still standing at the door, waiting for people who never came. Sound familiar? If you've ever canceled plans last minute because something came up, when really you were just afraid nobody would show up, you get this. According to research from the American Psychological Association, approximately 23% of adults report having negative associations with their birthdays, stemming from childhood experiences. That's nearly 1 in 4 people carrying invisible wounds from what should have been their special day. The pain isn't about the party. It's about what the absence of celebration meant. I'm not important enough. People don't care about me. I'm forgettable. These beliefs don't stay in childhood. They follow us. They whisper to us every single year when that date on the calendar approaches. The modern survival mode. But not everyone is Sarah. Now let me introduce you to Marcus. He represents the quiet quitting of birthday celebrations. We're not refusing to celebrate, we're refusing to perform. Marcus is a different story entirely. He's a software engineer, father of 2, husband, and he's running on approximately 4 hours of sleep. His birthday? It came and went last month, and he barely noticed until his wife mentioned it 3 days later. Marcus isn't avoiding his birthday because of past trauma. He's simply drowning. Welcome to what psychologists call time famine, a state where you're so cognitively overloaded that special occasions lose their meaning. Your brain enters survival mode, processing only what's urgent, not what's important. In a culture obsessed with living your best life, we've forgotten how to celebrate the life we actually have. Dr. Ashley Willens from Harvard Business School has studied this extensively. She found that time famine doesn't just make us miss birthdays. It fundamentally changes how we experience joy. When you're constantly operating in scarcity mode, your brain literally can't process celebration the same way. The neural pathways responsible for anticipation and pleasure get suppressed because they're competing with deadlines, responsibilities, and that never-ending to-do list. Marcus represents millions of Americans caught in the productivity trap. We've been taught that rest is laziness, that celebration is frivolous, that every moment should be optimized. So when the birthday comes, it feels almost indulgent to pause and acknowledge it. But here's the twist. Research from the Journal of Happiness Studies shows that people who regularly skip personal celebrations report 31% higher levels of burnout and emotional exhaustion. compared to those who take time to mark significant days. The irony? In trying to be more productive by skipping our birthday, we actually become less effective because we never give ourselves permission to reset, to breathe, to simply be. Marcus isn't ignoring his birthday because he doesn't care. He's ignoring it because he's forgotten how to care about himself. Therapy session break. I want you to pause this video. Seriously, pause it. Grab your phone. Open your notes. I want you to answer this one question. What's the birthday memory that still lives in your body? Unpaused. Good. Whatever you wrote, that's your starting point. The quiet confidence. And then there's Elena. She's achieved what TikTok calls main character energy. But for real, not for views. Elena knows it's her birthday. She wakes up, acknowledges it with a quiet smile, and then goes about her day. No posts on social media. No party. No expectations from others. And yet, she feels completely at peace. Is Elena depressed? Lonely? Antisocial? Actually, she might be the most psychologically healthy person we've talked about so far. Here's why. Elena has achieved what psychologists call intrinsic self-worth. This is a concept rooted in self-determination theory, developed by Edward Deci and Richard Ryan. The theory suggests that people derive the most genuine happiness when it comes from internal sources rather than external validation. Think about it. Why do we traditionally celebrate birthdays? With parties, gifts, and public acknowledgement? Because somewhere along the way, we learned that our value needs to be confirmed by others. The more people who show up, the more gifts we receive. The more happy birthday posts we get, the more proof we have that we matter. But Elena realized something profound. She doesn't need annual proof of her worth. A fascinating study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals with high intrinsic self-worth show 40% less anxiety around milestone events and 56% greater emotional stability during life transitions. Why? Because their sense of identity isn't tied to external markers. Elena doesn't need a birthday party to feel special, because she's cultivated something most people spend their whole lives searching for: the ability to celebrate herself every day, not just once a year. This doesn't mean she's disconnected from others. It means she's so deeply connected to herself that she doesn't need constant external reminders of her value. She knows who she is. She knows what she brings to the world. And that knowing is enough. The transformation. So I'll ask you again. It's your birthday. Right now. This very moment. How do you feel? And more importantly, why do you feel that way? Remember Sarah from the beginning? Last week, she sent me this message. I took myself to dinner. I sat at a table for one. And for the first time since I was 8 years old, I felt celebrated. That shift. That's available to you too. Your assignment? The next time someone asks how you're doing, instead of fine or busy, try I'm celebrating myself today. Watch what happens. Watch how you change. Drop your answer in the comments below. Tell me, are you Sarah, Marcus, or Elena? Or maybe you're a combination of all three. I read every comment, and I promise, your story might help someone else understand themselves better. Use the keywords self-worth or birthday meaning in your comment. I want to hear your story. This week we're running a birthday rewrite challenge. We're taking those painful memories and literally rewriting them. Join us, but only join if you're ready to do the work, not just watch from the sidelines. If this video made you rethink something you've taken for granted your whole life, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We explore the psychology that actually explains you. Remember, you are worth celebrating. Not just on your birthday. Every single day. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe to see them.